I forbid my mother-in-law from gifting my daughter clothes. They never fit. And this is a direct OK Storytime post. This is one of ours. One of our own.
Man, maybe just throw it in the dryer and shrink it down.
There you go.
That's how clothes work.
My mother-in-law, 65 female, and me, 34 female, were fairly close at the beginning. I first met her son, now 42 male, when I was 23. We started dating when I was 24 and later married when I was 25. Wow, they're moving fast.
Quick, man.
Mother-in-law is generally fine. For the first few years, we would often go to see her, roughly weekly, and would message regularly. My husband was married previously and has another daughter-in-law now, 14 female, from that marriage. By the way, this comes from Beneficial Exam 8115 on the r/OKStorytime subreddit. So I started to notice that mother-in-law seemed to be more and more comfortable talking about her son's ex-wife and giving me and him details of her contacts with her and current happenings in ex-wife's life, which naturally gave me the ick. However, I understood that my husband had a child with the ex-wife and therefore she would always be a part of our lives. It was unpleasant and awkward to listen, and I admit I often dismissed conversation about the ex-wife when asked to provide an opinion. When I was 29, we fell pregnant with my daughter, now 3 female.
Wow.
Oh, congratulations. After the 12-week scan, we went to mother-in-law to let her know we were expecting. She appeared extremely happy and cried hearing our news.
Woo.
So sweet.
W mother-in-law.
At this time, she already had 5 grandchildren. We also told my mother, 54 female, who was equally as happy, and this would be her first and only grandchild. Unfortunately, my daughter does not have a maternal or paternal grandfathers. All continued as usual with mother-in-law. Husband's ex-wife had had a second child, 6 male, with her partner. Mother-in-law was regularly, every couple of weeks, seeing this child, and ex-wife's son came to call mother-in-law Nan despite not being related. Likely because his sister, my husband's daughter, was calling her Nan.
So this kid isn't related to the mother-in-law, but he's still calling her Nan.
Yes. My daughter was born in 2021. Pregnancy was difficult due to the pandemic, and we hadn't been able to see mother-in-law as we once had, but she would regularly message to check in. Once my daughter was born, we took her to meet mother-in-law and all seemed well. My mother traveled 250 plus miles from her home to meet my daughter and spend some time helping us to look after her in the early days. My mother still lives 250 plus miles away and travels at least twice a year to spend 2 weeks with my daughter.
Wow.
Taking her to various places and generally making memories. We saw mother-in-law 4 to 5 times during my daughter's first year of life. By the way, mother-in-law lives about 45 minutes away, roughly 15 miles. Life got busy and it was difficult to spend so much physical time together, let alone coming out of the pandemic. We had a party for my daughter's first birthday, which mother-in-law attended. After that, we didn't see mother-in-law for another 2 months. And after that, my husband took out daughter to see mother-in-law a few months later. Mother-in-law's messages were few and far between now. I wished her happy Christmas, happy New Year, happy birthday, Mother's Day. There was always an acknowledgement, but never conversation.
Okay. Happy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's just their whole text message.
Got it.
That's upsetting. Have you ever had those conversations where it's like you send someone happy birthday and like the last text that someone sent was happy birthday?
Oh yeah,
from
yeah,
the year before or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like great
It's
friends.
okay.
Christmas 2022 and my daughter's second birthday came and went without a word from mother-in-law. She eventually asked to come over and see her to give her Christmas and birthday presents 6 months after Christmas and 4 months after her birthday. She kindly bought her many, many gifts. Mother-in-law commented that my daughter treated her as a stranger and was having to take pictures of her from my Facebook as otherwise she would not see her. I wonder why. After this, mother-in-law saw daughter once more that year, bringing the total to 2 times in 2023. 2023 Christmas and third birthday came and went. I reached out to mother-in-law in March this year, and we arranged for her to come and see her granddaughter that month to give her Christmas and birthday presents, of which there was generously a lot. As usual, mother-in-law excused not being around as a result of life and that she assumed the family were well and happy if she hadn't heard from them. I don't quite understand what this means and I didn't ask. Amongst the gifts on this occasion was a beautiful jumper, size 2 to 3 years, would likely be on the smaller size. My daughter is very tall for her age and she has just had her 3rd birthday, but usually children's clothes have some stretch. Unfortunately, this jumper was not forgiving. It had no give and simply my daughter had outgrown it before mother-in-law had even arranged to meet to give her the gifts. Yeah, that's a good point.
Kids grow fast.
Yeah, especially at that age, like there's different sizes for like 2-3 months, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so if there's a third birthday party and you don't give a present to her till 4 months after, she's gonna be a different size.
Oh yeah.
This is the second time my daughter has been gifted clothes by mother-in-law and has got next to no wear out of them simply because mother-in-law has not seemingly been interested in arranging a get-together to present the gifts. Mother-in-law, you just gotta get gifts for like the next age and then you're good. Problem solved. Although we have a very small family and social circle, those in it are aware that my daughter does better with clothes the next size up due to her being impossibly long. That's funny. This is particularly needed in tops and less so in trousers, as otherwise they do not fit around her middle. As I write this post, me and my daughter have not seen or heard from mother-in-law since March.
Dang.
My husband has had the odd message, but otherwise not much. Mother-in-law continues to have regular contact with my husband's other daughter and his ex-wife's son. No relations.
Oh, they don't have a relation. Interesting.
So
I thought they
OP's
did.
husband's ex-wife's son.
Probably from another person, from another man.
Probably, yes. So that's why he has no relation. So that's who was calling her man.
Huh.
Mother-in-law now has 8 grandchildren in total, my daughter being the only one from me. 3 of her other grandchildren she also sees weekly. They are also living roughly 45 minutes away from her in the opposite direction to us, with mother-in-law living in between both locations. Wow, so it's not even like it's more convenient for mother-in-law. She's seeing them every week.
That is weird because there's no relation either.
Well, some of them there is relation, but there's one that isn't.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
There's like, I think everything else is related.
What'd you say, OP? Or what is she mad about, OP?
Yeah, what? What is her beef? My mother has religiously continued to make the very long trip from her home to mine to spend time with my daughter at least twice a year and calls her weekly to speak with her. By the way, you can always spend time with us, joining us live on YouTube every weekday at 3 p.m. PST. Just tap our profile.
Tap her profile.
So easy. And there is a little bit more, but what are we thinking? So
OP,
far?
you may have slighted your mother-in-law in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Because they were good beforehand.
Yeah, they were fine, and she was seeing her quite a lot, I think. And all of a sudden,
Something changed.
with this child,
I think it might have been between maybe the dad, maybe your husband and mother-in-law.
with Christmas fast approaching, my daughter's birthday only 2 months after that, I have asked my husband to gently ask mother-in-law to not buy her clothes as a gift, as I know they will not fit, and I have suggested she reduce the amount of gifts she purchases. In my opinion, I would very much appreciate it if she would make more of an effort to spend time with our daughter instead of buying a lot of stuff. But am I the a-hole for asking mother-in-law to not buy my daughter clothes? And that's the end of it.
She's not going to think ahead. Don't waste your money.
I think that's so reasonable. Like it's not that you're not asking her to spend time with you, which is a lot of Reddit stories we have seen.
Yeah.
It's not like you are asking her to just like, I don't know, stop talking. Don't even bother. You're not making this into a fight. You're just asking like, hey, just maybe buy her something else.
Yeah.
Because the clothes won't fit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or, I mean, you could say like, just buy it 2 sizes bigger because.
And a conversation sounds like it's needed.
For sure. It seems like it's being avoided somehow.
Yep. Listen to that story.
That's the end of that story. We'll see you next time.